light. It's a little light. Oh, this is my Alpine soap. I forgot all about that. Oh, wow. Dude. Let's put that on the outside. That's good. A little more touchy. You don't want to eat this. You just want to smell because you see me putting it in my mouth. You want some? You want to try it? They call it rabbit food. Be careful. Be careful now. Come on. Wow. Hungry. This is my last meal. Oh. I eat no more. This is it. What's on? Dogs don't even beg like that. What's up? I'm just gonna eat and I'm just gonna go ahead and read. And I got a new book. I'm gonna go ahead and read because I was practicing my, you know what I mean? I got a new book. Check it out. I made a post about it, but remember I was talking about? This one came quick. And anytime I order from thrift books, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month. I don't know why it came quick. I'm starting to wonder if I should keep ordering stuff because of what, I don't know. The border stuff. I don't know. I don't like to get stuck in that nonsense. But anyway, this is the book. 7 Days in May. Fletcher Neville and Charles W. Belly. Remember, I got it because I saw it in William Cooper's. When I saw it in here, I was like, I gotta get this book. And Pale Horse, what are you doing? You bugged out, cuz. You doing your little sidestep, your sidestep, curly tail, whatever that is. So yeah, when we was reading it the other day, remember? When I saw it in here, I was like, I gotta get this, you know? It's just, for me, it's just informative. Things that were missing in back in the day or whatever, you know what I mean? I want to wait for a couple more people to come in. If not, I'm just gonna shut it down because I don't like informing everybody. The guy on YouTube was saying that they don't know if it's the algorithm, if it's the AI learning and playing. They don't. And he used to work for him. He says the possibility is that it's doing rolling notification outs or something like that. Which I made that statement before. So it's a possibility. So I know several people that they're off work, they're at home, and they would be here. So. I'm gonna give it a few more minutes. I'll shut it down, delete it, and start it over. It matters me not as long as get some sisters in the watch. That's all that matters. I can't see no comments. I gotta let me hit this thing. I don't know why they're doing that. Why they do that? Why they messing with my? There, okay. Nobody's commenting. I'm wondering who's watching. 3 of y'all are watching. If you don't calm your ass down. Not in a rush. Holy snap. Sad state. Cowards like that. Unbelievable, bro. I'm not giving you no treats, bro. You got a gut on you, bro. Like you've been drinking beer for the last like since you was born and shit. Nah, man, that ain't my fault. Like, okay, partially mine. You tripping. Cuz. Yo, what's up, Oak? What's going on, family? Yeah, I was waiting for some more people to come in. I was surprised notifications working or not. So I said I was going to come back and read. I know it's a little late, and I know it's a Monday, and people are tired. It's been a busy day. But I want to go ahead and get this reading in. I'm going to go ahead and start with American Covenant, and then, the Women of Lemuria, and then the American Covenant. And I had, you know what's funny? I had several people hit me up on messages. The first time. Usually just one or two of y'all. The original Lone Wolf, a few people, a couple of sisters. But they sent stuff. God damn, Red, where'd you go? You know, they send stuff that's really good information to me, you know, and I download it. I don't need the light right now. And it's really, really good information some of them said. Some of it I don't care nothing about. You know, I'm not big on politics and part of, you know, my hair is crazy, y'all. I had my hat on. But anyway, and some things aren't meant for Gmail, y'all. I know they're listening to phone calls, everything. But let me say this. Every country, but this fake ass government every country stopped all the poisons that was coming from this country. And yet, the small hat crew, the fake Ashkenazi motherfuckers think it's all right. This is how perverted they are. They think it's all right to continue poisoning the people on this soil. And the funny part about it is, not all, but most of the pale skins that I talk to, they still partake in this shit like as if it's not going to affect us. No, y'all dying every goddamn minute, too. Somebody asked me a question about it, and pale skin, and I didn't know how to respond. I was like, hey, come on, man. You know, if you're not in the liberal state, California, certain places, they have, you know, Jersey, New York, they have places that are very health conscious and people that grow their own stuff. If you're not close to them, and some of them and they're not going to be putting it all over the internet, but they're still not in a good position because they don't have guns and this, that, and other to protect themselves, and they're not elevating themselves to a certain place. And you know how the women and the men carry themselves. It's not everyone, but it's more than enough that are kind of lost. And I said, bro, I says, you know where you live at. Take your ass out there in one of them restaurants that, you know, I mentioned, whether it be Jamaican, this, that. Go to one of the places where the people actually, the Asians actually sit down and eat the food they cook. I says, where you at? And you got some, like the restaurant over here, that shit they serve is not what the rest of the people that I know, the cousins, it's not the stuff that they make at them restaurants. Like if you're gonna go get some fried chicken wings and some damn fried rice. And if it's not the fried rice because you're not sure about the sauce that they're using on it because it's coming from China, go buy you some Kiko Man. Tell them you just want some white rice with peas and carrots, fried chicken, hot sauce, and you'd be better off. Stay away from the French fries unless they're halal. If they're Muslim Chinese, you better believe the French fries are going to be oven fried, or there's going to be in a heavy olive oil. That means cold pressed, and it's green, it's thick. It's the way it's supposed to be, like Moroccan or Tunisian. He was like, yo, what's your number? So I gave him my number. He called. He's like, yeah, man. If you're watching, bro, appreciate you. You know, a lot of people know the truth. They don't want to speak on it. He says, but I appreciate what you're doing, you know, and keep the reads going. So I shouldn't be talking, but I know that there's an element. And I don't want to beat down too hard on it. That's why I have the mornings, you know, to go ahead and get the things off your chest or speak on certain things or question some things. You know what I'm saying? Like my brother Gabriel Rich was saying, and I mentioned it to him because he's close to Canada. I says, what about the borders up there? He says the same thing up here. I was like, and the news ain't nobody talking about it. My brother Big Jers, Mike Spivey, he just shared something to me that I knew back in the day because I was a breakdancer. You know, when MTV was at the Masonic Lodge, you know, had the little MTV, I was like, oh yeah, we always knew that, you know? And he was like, damn. I was like, you forgot what I used to do? Come on, bro. You know? Well, I ain't said all that, but, you know, he knows it, you know, without me having to beat him in the head. But, we're in some pretty dark times, man. I just want to see the sisters get to the position they need to be at, because they've been tried and beaten down. And I want to see the brothers get to a better position of representing themselves. I don't care what color. I really don't. It's a sick game these certain individuals in these positions play, and it's really ugly. There's a video being passed around, and the sister passed it to me. I've already seen it, where it's talking about before Trump left, the reason why he wouldn't leave, because he wanted to take over the control of the monetary, which called from the Vatican, because the Pope controlled all of it through England, through the Ashkenazis. Do I believe it? I don't know. I don't like to be confused with all that. You dig what I'm saying? Oh, I don't like to look at all that stuff and be like, yeah. No, I can't find anything worthwhile in all that. I mean, I made my statement, because you got to remember, Trump, whether it was on him, bilateral push for the bump stock ban, the NRA is a traitorous organization. A lot of women in there now who are, you know what I'm saying? And at the same time, he was pushing the vax. And he really wasn't at first. He was like, oh, if you want to get it. He wasn't like, you got to get it. Because he was looking at the science, because he's not a doctor. So you got to remember that the black box controls all that, and they control the crap that goes in the food, and we know who's in control of the black box. I've already shared that information for those terms to be used loosely, and it shows the degrading sickness. You would think that they would stop poisoning the food, they would stop treating the water with the poisons they do, and the offshore dumping by military functions and skill purposely, y'all. When we used to be out in the ocean taking the garbage and dumping it off the back before we started burning and compacting it, we saw look at each other like, are y'all aware, like, after we dumped off the shoreline, you hear about all the dolphins and the stuff and the turtles they finding are sick and messed up? And then some of us were complaining in the military, what are we doing? And then a couple of years while I was in, it had changed. All right, well, we're going to be burning the trash, and we're going to be compacting all the plastics. And they had a place in the ship that would take all the plastics and process it literally on the ship and make, like, for the weight room, you know what I'm saying, plastic benches. And look, man, it was crazy. Like, it was a world out, it was a city out there. You dig what I'm saying? Hey, Halito, what's going on? Halito, Chukman. Hey, look, I'm gonna go ahead and get this read on. I don't want to be on forever. I'm just gonna read a little bit, and then we're gonna shut it down. Okay? Like I said, I gotta get more rest, and I gotta make it happen. I was just looking at my son and my daughter, and I just love them to death. And it's good. They hope to get their head out their asses. I have to say it how it is. Anyway, so let's get into a crime. Monica Maranya with Dr. Amber Wolf, The Woman of Lemuria, Ancient Wisdom for Modern Times. I don't want that light on me, so I hope it's bright enough. Lemurian society is where we're at. Well, yeah, I was doing some Qigong. My back, my knee, I got to keep doing things and breathing to get myself, to keep my body together. The pain sometimes, it's like that sometimes. What was life like in ancient Lemuria? How did society work, and who was in charge? These are questions. Well, what was the structure of society like? Before exploring the answers to these questions, let's examine the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. The Aboriginals have proven archaeological evidence of occupation in Australia for at least 40,000 years, and DNA evidence of 50,000 years. Therefore, the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people of Australia became established in a similar time frame to Lemuria. In parts of Australia, their culture has remained unchanged and intact for over 40,000 years. Understanding their unique way of life may assist us in understanding what life might have been like in Lemuria. I actually have pictures of the Australians back in the 1800s wearing clothes. Before they came out with these movies talking about they running around with little loincloths playing the didgeridoo and Like, no, and painting themselves. That was ceremonial, like our people. We wore clothes hundreds, if not thousands of years. Anyway, in Aboriginal society, everything is governed by laws and codes of behavior that are understood as part of the dreaming. The dreaming is their sacred world. The Aboriginal dream time is their understanding of the world, which we are no different. Its creation and its great stories. Okay? The dream time is the beginning of knowledge, from which came the laws of existence. And the dreaming world is the old time of the ancestor beings. What is the dream world? That's pretty much the matrix or realms. However people want to, put it out there, And that's why I was expressing to you, if you're not getting sleep, what to do. I've already got my boiled banana. The stuff works, y'all. And right here, I just made some salad, and I made my own salad dressing. Excuse me. Woo. It's the pepper I use. This is the salt that I use. I got like a box of this. Okay. I have black Hawaiian ash salt, and I have Himalayan, which is Pakistani rock salt, and I have sea salt that has iodine, and I have this. And this is pretty friggin' salty. A teaspoon to half a tablespoon. It's very good. Especially if you like tuna and shrimp and stuff like that, and you don't want something too salty. You want half or a quarter of the sodium of what you're actually getting. Okay? But anyway, stop jumping in and out the window like that, Papa. Yeah, well, what? Oh, man, let me read. Why you want to come in? I'm like reading. He was over here knocking everything down. I know, I see you, Papa. Yeah. What's up, Papa? Okay, hold on. Let me get back to reading. Alexander's saying hi, everybody. All right, excuse me. All right, here we go. Okay. The laws of the dreaming tell people which animals they can hunt and when, which plants they can eat or use for medicine, which places they can go to, and who they can marry, how to care for the land, and how the different groups are to treat each other. By following the dreaming, Aboriginal people live in harmony with each other and the land, as evidenced by the thousands of years of continuous occupation. The dreaming is deeply spiritual, but it also takes care of the practical details of people's lives and is the basis for their art and culture. Children were taught about the dreaming all through their childhood as they matured into young adults, and their formal, in-depth education of the dreaming began. Once initiated, they would, and they have to use the word initiate, I can't stand that word, but anyway, they would be given secret knowledge that they could only speak about with other initiated people, as our people once did. Knowledge about the dreaming would continue throughout one's life, which meant the elders were seen as particularly wise and knowledgeable, and the elders would help settle disputes or discuss how to deal with someone who had broken the law. Gradually, the details of the laws changed across the hundreds of Aboriginal nations that existed in Australia before European settlement, but many similarities remained between all groups, and sometimes the laws were linked through stories and ceremonies, and would be all longhouses and wigwams were aside from the cities, and would be reinforced at communal gatherings. And in essence, the dreaming is their creation story, the interconnections of all life. How to live the right way and the teachings of unconditional love of spirit and the ancestors. Now, the spiritual story of Uluru Ayersarak is based on the Chukopa of the Anunga people. Chukopa is frequently described as the dreaming of dream time, to walk in a dream. But this translation is inaccurate. Chukopa refers to the creation period when the ancestral beings I forget how, I got an Australian friend up the street, right? Half us and half Australian. Created the world, because I had him look at this. He said it to me. I can't repeat it. The world as we know it now. It is the foundation of Anangu, life and society, and has many complex meanings. It is also the law of relationships between people, plants, animals, and the land, order. It is the past, the present, and the future. It is about love, spirit or soul, and the belief about creation and the right way to live. In 2015, there was a Krayan event held at Oruro, Australia, during the channeled messages from Krayan. Startling revelations were made about the local Anongo Aboriginals. Sharing these messages with you requires a brief review of the nodes and nulls of Earth. The Pleiadians created the nodes and nulls of Earth approximately 200,000 years ago, at the same time that they created the conscious grids of Gaia. They put themselves into a quantum state all over the planet in various areas, and specifically, they created 12 pairs of energy points. These 12 energy points are found at 24 geographical locations, and we know what those are. A total of 24 nodes and nulls, where they work as a polarized pair. Each polarized pair is a time capsule that has energy set in place. Should humanity ever reach a certain consciousness, these time capsules will release information for the individual human being as well for the whole planet. It's like light suddenly appearing out of nowhere where there's no light. And then we'll get into the nodes and nulls. We just read like 3.5 pages, so that's good. That's The Women of Lemuria, which is excellent. I love that. That's an excellent book. When I went forward just a little bit, y'all. I'm gonna read that with y'all, but I had to go forward just a little bit. I was like, yo, hey, Andre, are you there? Yeah, what's up, mate? I said, look, man, where you at? Matter of fact, I'm passing you. I'm passing your drive. Can you come in here right quick? Swing right in there, Mike. He still has his accent, y'all. Just don't even ask me. He's half us. We lived in Australia most of his life, even after he served in the army. So I go downstairs and I show him. He pronounces it like, I'm like, dude, I'm never going to remember how to say this stuff. Christopher Boston. All right, I'll check it out later, brother. Love you. And his wife, Phoenix, you know, they're my boys, my people's in Philly. I was like, yo, man, I ain't going to remember that. He's like, can you record it? And I was like, you know what? I'll do my best. So I hope it wasn't too chopped up for you, because it was chopped up, all right? God dog, man. Anyway. An American Covenant, a story of women, mysticism, and the making of modern America by Lucio Scott. Okay. Oh man, I forgot. I was supposed to order this model. I build models, y'all know that, right? They have them back in stock. I like the old school prints from AMT. I gotta order this Roadrunner. Anyway, let me stop. I'm goofy like that. 2018, Boston. Hey, what's going on? Hey, who else? Did Rondo? I guess Rondo's at the thing chilling out. Anyway, I descended wooden stairs into a crypt-like concrete basement a little after 9:30 p.m. Excuse me, on a Saturday in November, just in time for the annual Festival of the Dead. I love that. Man, in Louisiana, the Festival of the Dead is awesome. Or Fête Gede. Anyway, I'd been invited to Boston to attend this voodoo, as it's spelled in Haiti, ceremony, generally the grandest of the year, by a man I'd met in New Orleans 2 months prior. I traveled there to the Big Easy on a mission to better understand Marie Laveau and her voodoo tradition. And my research showed that, like its parents, West African voodoo and his siblings, they just called a man who killed like, I forget, 100 people. That's not voodoo. It's a perversion of the people that left here and went there, killing albinos. Anyway, grinding their bones up, selling to the Chinese. Just some weird, sick stuff. Anyway, my research showed that, like his parents, West African voodoo and his sibling, which they're not the parents of it, Haitian voodoo, the New Orleans voodoo of Marie's time, was a shamanic religion, which has nothing to do with Africa, y'all. The continent they call Africa. A cosmology based on direct communication with spirits via possession or divination. The latter, often done with tarot cards originally brought over by Europeans, or with the bones used in many African traditions. We know the bones and stones is not African. This is what I'm talking about when people write books. I'm not going to get upset. I'm going to read. I'm just saying we have to have correlation for correction. These people, these individuals are so... Anyway, they don't do deep research. They get something that's satisfying to the palate of the conscious sleep they're in by the education system that has made them devoid of reality of truth. Even the name voodoo is not an existence of truth, but a rationale based on the 1800s. Anyway, in West African Wudon, there is one all-powerful creator too remote and vast to communicate with directly. So humans call upon an array of lesser spirits who serve as intermediates to the ultimate deity. And we know this a lot because our people used to ghost dance. That's the reason why I was telling you about Massacre of Wounded Knee. It wasn't no mongrel or Mongol. It's our people. I take this stuff serious, y'all. This cosmology directly reflects Roman Catholicism, with its almighty creator God and his host of saints whom the faithful communicate with. When West African people were enslaved in primarily Roman Catholic cultures, like New Orleans and Haiti, the religions easily fused into a new entity, along with their saints and spirits. Limba, the guardian of the crossroads and escort for the recently deceased, better known by his Haitian voodoo name, Papa Legba, joined with Saint Peter, who holds the keys to heaven's gate. It's a perversion of what was. Anyway, Daniel Blank, the spirit of luck and love, with Saint Michael, the divine feminine. You hear that? With Saint Michael, the divine feminine, with the Virgin Mary. All right, so no, Michael's not. But anyway, spirit of luck and love with Saint Michael, and then the divine feminine with the Virgin Mary. And the list goes on. In addition, in New Orleans, elements of Native American spirituality, another shamanic religion with a reverence for nature, melted into the medley, along with some flex from then popular European occult movements like Masonry and Mesmerism, which Masonry is not European. It is of this soil, from the South. Real spit. Despite their similarities, however, Wudon and Catholicism remain strikingly different. The Christian creator God is an emphatic he, existing above and before natural cycles, including being born of a woman. The West African creator is generally androgynous, bigger than gender, though if one must choose for many, past and present, the preferred pronoun is she. As mystics say, the cosmic macrocosm reflects the natural microcosm, and in the microcosm, women birth life. In West Africa, both priests and priestesses could traditionally serve the spirits, while the mainstream Christianity, only men could function as a surrogate for the male god, the perversion, and by extension, only men could truly be holy and enlightened. In 19th century New Orleans, where women constituted the majority of people of color and had a degree of autonomy unusual for the time, the system grew more matriarchal than even still. You got to remember where this is coming from, okay? Stay open-minded, and then the sisters that listen, keep your head far above the water. Do not conscript yourself to something that's further descending, not ascension, okay? We're reading about something based on the 1800s. At the center of that subterranean room in Boston sat a middle-aged black woman, or Mambo, a high priestess, softly chanting while shaking a brown ground rattle, gourd rattle, which is autochthonous, it's our stuff. She was small in stature, but huge in spirit, and dressed all in white. Her folding chair rested on the hard gray floor, dotted with flames that floated in hemispheric orange pills filled with oil. Amid those flames glimmered intricate patterns, vivis and constructed with cornmeal, along with other cornmeal sketch symbology, skulls, crosses, and pyramids. Carefully, platter by platter, like proud waiters dressed in matching light purple shirts, the pious members of a voodoo house began setting out a feast: whole crabs, tropical fruits, cake, fritters, a skull made of king. This is our stuff, y'all. Made of icing, on an altar that spanned the entirety of the 50-foot back wall, and behind the grand platters rested a dense conglomeration. No double pages there. Of Catholic saint statues, fresh flowers and votive candles, liquor bottles, sequins, and natural skulls of bones. Sequin, you know, that sequence stuff, whatever. Anyway, all of it was an offering for the spirits alone. No human touched the food that night. Surprised by the calm, I took a seat in a folding chair among a handful of meditative onlookers, some in traditional ceremonial attire of white or purple lace and bandana fabric, some in street clothes like me, sitting at the periphery, and I thought of the Episcopalian services I attended from time to time in my youth. Though Protestant, they still employed a fair amount of Catholic ritualistic flair: incense, candles, bright silk robes, ornate golden talismans to conjure the divine. Now, the reason why I made the statements about voodoo is we see how they have um, picked up all the things around them that had nothing to do with the shamanistic virtues of our women, the power that which they illuminated in the men. See, this is a perversion which is being written, but it's the time and the period and the falling away. So let's go on further. But it's important that the women really pay attention and the men have a clear understanding how important it is. You see what I'm saying? But the calm was just the warm up, the opening invocation of the spirits that lifted the veil to move this basement to a space between worlds. And I've been told, outside time. Soon the drumming started. Frequencies. As people, most of all Haitian immigrants, trickled in and milled about, sharing rum and coronas. By midnight, about 100 women and men stood packed together, chest to backs, forearms against elbows, our sweat mingling. Then we began swaying while stomping to the drum beat. Now, who remembers in, um, which one was it? Which Matrix was it? When they had the orgy scene? Okay. Remove orgy. Spiritual. It's all about the source of life. Then we began swaying while stomping to the drum beat. Stomping. You know what I'm talking about, okay? As the dozen members of the house, led by their mambo, processed down the stairs in choreographed motion and into the pulsing throng of us, soon our dancing gave way to something even more ecstatic and unencumbered. As the hour pushed on to 3 a.m. and then 4 a.m., then later still, as we crossed further into the wrong side of midnight, as my southern mother used to call it, lines blurred into what started to feel like some waking dream in my sleep, hungry mind. In that subterranean concrete space between worlds, I watched a ceremonial melee of purple and white, lace and linen, small coffins and full-size swords, machetes and crosses. Flames erupted on the floor from rum poured in circles. People danced around the fire as it licked at their clothes. A woman writhed beneath a white sheet while eating a hard-boiled egg coated in flour. A man lay prostrate, unfrozen, wrapped in a shroud, cotton up his nose, rendering him deceased, ceremonially speaking for a number of minutes. In New Orleans, voodoo and also Haitian voodoo and West African voodoo, spirit and matter are not binary or sacred, one profane, one living, one accessed only through death or a cleric. Instead, divinity resides in all things living and inanimate, including all of us, regardless of race and gender. Voodoo is about channeling the spirits to balance and heal both an individual and their community. In voodoo, each dance, each word, each intention, be it a blessing or a curse, reverberates to the divine, either connecting all. Each action also sparks a commensurate reaction upon the door. Basically the same idea as karma. So if someone messes with the more aggressive side of the spiritual forces, curses, hexes, and the like, they must be willing to pay the price in terms of negativity in their own life. Therefore, such work is generally done sparingly. In fact, what would become known as voodoo dolls were actually puppets brought over by Europeans who used them to folk magic from time to time to ward off malevolent, excuse me. I got a burp. It is right there. Malevolent. God dog. Excuse me, I'm sorry. malevolent forces. The dolls aren't an actual fixture of voodoo. However, priestesses and priests have employed them to focus healing energy on a certain part of a person's body, almost always at that person's request, by using those infamous pins, like acupressure. I hope y'all enjoyed that. And yeah, I felt it too. If you heard it, I felt it. Right when the light went, something changed, and I was like, okay, roger that. It like something was talking through me. I was like, hold on, wait a minute, that's not, anyway. I love it. So, I hope y'all enjoyed that, and I appreciate you guys stepping in. I wish there were more ladies in. Who else came in? Herbo, what's going on, beloved? King of Pop already got you. Hey, Snoo. I was like, where is she at? So anyway, I would have read a lot more, but it's 42 minutes. We're going to shut it down. So, you know, y'all have a grand night. There's not a lot of people in here, but it's always to my beautiful sisters. Even if you come in, this is for y'all too. And my brothers, you know it's always 2 and a 1. All right? Y'all have a grand evening, and I appreciate it. Yes, the kings and queens, we are, for sure. Y'all have a grand night.